All right, this is the list of 12 of the best things to do in Medellin, and you can all do it for little to no money. One, you might have to spend a few dollars, but it's definitely things you can do in Medellin, especially if you're here for at least 5 days. And obviously, there's a lot more than this, but we're going to just focus on things you can do in 5 days for little to no money. So, in Medellin, let's go with number one. Visit Comuna 13 and see the street art. Obviously, this is something I did a video on where I showed you my travel from Laureles to Comuna 13. This is a place that used to be dangerous. It was not a place you wanted to go, but now it's kind of a tourist attraction. Has a lot of graffiti, a lot of street art. It's definitely worth the place to go. Number two, take the MetroCable up to Parque Arvi. Taking the MetroCable to Parque Arvi is really you going for the view. It's probably one of the best places to see the view of the city, on a MetroCable. I mean, Parque Arvi is good too, but the real purpose to get on the MetroCable is to see the view of the city. Now, obviously, this is one going to Parque Arvi, which is, the brown line or, line L. But you can go to line J, which also show a beautiful view of the city and actually a closer view of the city, some of the neighborhoods in the city. Especially, for some of the people who, of lower class may live poor, you know what I mean? So it's definitely something you want to see while you're here. So it's all part of the metro, and it's probably just a little bit over a regular fare for a metro ride. The next thing you want to do is check out El Poblado. Now, obviously, most of you who come to the city, Poblado is probably where you're going to stay at. I mean, it's places where most gringos. It is definitely set up for international travelers. It's somewhere you just want to keep going. I mean, it's innovative, it's new. I mean, is everything you need is in that area. So definitely want to check out El Poblado. Next thing you want to do is learn salsa. Listen, I was here last year for about 3 months, not in Medellin, but in Colombia for 3 months. And on my list was to learn salsa, but I didn't get the chance. So this time, that was the first thing I wanted to do once I visited the city. Salsa is definitely king in the city. Obviously, Calle, Colombia is where salsa capital is located. The salsa capital is located, but Medellin is definitely a place you definitely want to, even a lot of beginning classes, to get it started. I mean, there's a lot of salsa clubs in the city, especially in Laureles. So definitely want to take care of salsa. And a lot of times there's a lot of free classes, especially in Poblado. So definitely want to try taking salsa lesson and also go to a salsa club to dance salsa. So, all right. The next thing you want to do is take a day trip to Guatape. Now, this is the only one thing that may cost a few extra dollars. I mean, even though Guatape is not in Medellin, it's about a 2-hour drive, but it's definitely worth the trip. And you can find plenty of English-speaking tours in the city that'll take you up there for the whole day, feed you, and bring you back. You can't beat it. I mean, even if you speak Spanish, there's some even cheaper tours, like in Laureles and other parts of the city, where you can probably go just for the, the fee of taking the bus up there, and it's much cheaper. But, definitely visit Guatape while you're here. That's the only thing that may cost maybe $25 to $35, you know what I mean, for a round trip. So it's definitely worth it. After that, the next thing you want to do is visit the local malls. Now, Medellin and the surrounding area has about, 16 to 18 malls. I've only been to like 6 or 7 of them. But these malls are just not regular malls. These are malls of what people are proud of. The cool thing about a lot of these malls, they are in neighborhoods. Unlike in the United States, where most of the malls are kind of like on the outskirts of town and pretty much in the business district. In Medellin, a lot of these malls are actually in neighborhood. Most neighborhoods, large neighborhoods in the city has at least mall, or at least are close to a mall. So definitely, if you want to check out the mall and check out the neighborhood, definitely check out the malls. I think you're definitely going to enjoy it. Take a free walking tour of Medellin, basically El Centro. I mean, there are a lot of free walking tours. I'll go ahead and drop a link below. Real Tour City is definitely, Real City Tours, I'm sorry. Real City Tours is definitely one of worldwide type tour company in just about every city that's has a lot of tourists, and they have a free walking tour to visit the city. Now, you and I both know there's nothing free about any tours. You don't really walk anywhere free. So they're gonna, most of the tour guides, that's their only job. So they really work off tips. So definitely you want to donate something, but it's also definitely worth it taking a tour. And they give you some historical perspective on the city, of the past, and they do not have a problem sharing their own opinion about, Pablo Escobar. So definitely take a walk. In fact, that's something you probably want to do the first or second day you arrive in the city. That way you can kind of get a background about the city, and it kind of help you inform you more about the city when you do other things in the city. So definitely take a free tour while you're here. The next thing you want to do is enjoy the night scene. Listen here. The night scene is one of the reasons a lot of people tour the city, because it's a lot to do it in the night time. I mean, especially in the Poblado area. Poblado area is probably where a lot of, international tourists tend to go. Parque, the Provenza. There's a lot of areas to hang out. I mean, also, if you want to, party like a Colombia, you can go to other areas like La Cententa. Of course, I've shared quite a few videos on La Cententa, which is, 70th Street basically, or 33rd Street. I haven't done 33rd Street yet, but that may be an area you want to check out, especially if you want to party like a local Colombia, But and also there's some other exclusive areas where people don't really talk about, like Las Palmas. Has some exclusive area where you can probably see some beautiful views of the city from that area, but it's a lot more expensive, as well as Barrio Colombia, which is right off Metro Industrialis. It's a lot more larger clubs in those areas, but it's definitely a lot more expensive. So there's plenty to do in the city if you want to party and kind of hang out at nighttime. And those are the areas you want to check out. Next thing you want to do is check out the parks. I mean, try to walk in the city. This is definitely a walkable city. Now, Poblado is there are definitely a lot of hills, but it's definitely, a lot of places to walk no matter where you're at. And there's plenty of parks, and I'll be honest with you, I've seen like a lot of parks, and none of them, I don't think I've seen a trashy park yet. I mean, they're all clean, they're well maintained, no trash hanging out of the trash can. Definitely check out the parks here. They're definitely, a place where a lot of people hang out at. And they're safe. Ride the metro. Listen here, I mean, a lot of you are, going to come here and, be just happy with the cheap Uber rides, because definitely riding the Uber is definitely cheap here, especially if you're coming from the United States. So you're probably going to do a lot of your trips in Uber, which is legal here. I mean, there's a different way to do it, but it seemed no different than what it was in the past. But Uber. But definitely take the metro. It's about 60, 70 cents. And you can pretty much get some beautiful views from the metro of definitely neighborhoods. And that's the way you explore a city, so you can have a real good perspective on what the city is like by taking the metro and seeing how the local Colombians interact and do what they need to do, travel on a normal basis, on a daily basis. So definitely check out the metro. And lastly, go ahead and enjoy the street foods. Now, obviously, everywhere you go, you're going to find street foods, and most of them less than $1. You can get full of some of the street food less than $1. So even, for instance, you can probably buy empanada for like, 60, 70 cents, and it's filling. I mean, it's a fried type thing, but it's filling, and it definitely serves the purpose. Of course, you can find plenty of places that sell juices and fruit cups. I mean, definitely check out the street scene. You can find, like, I usually buy this like chicken on a stick, which I can find between like 7 and 8 or 9, pesos, which is pretty much $2 or $3. It's filling. I mean, I love it, and it's fresh. So definitely check out the street food. Keep in mind, all of these things you can do pretty much for little to no money. And again, I think it'll give you, especially if you're here for only a short period of time, it'll give you a nice, beautiful perspective of the city and not just one part of the city. So I hope you enjoyed this video on the 12 best thing to do in Medellin. And if you like this video, check out these videos. And I will definitely see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.